So far, you've added a title and body text. You change the badge to read 42. You can launch the app. Next, you need actions. The beauty of the user notification framework is actions with push notifications work almost the same as a local notification. You set a category in the content, this time in the payload. You just add one more key to the APS dictionary category. Go over to Xcode and add the following. So put a comma. We'll use category as the key. Colon, and we'll use pizza.category for the category, which will be our value. That's all you need to change in the payload. You can copy and paste this back into the platform for now. Go back to Xcode and head over to the app delegate. If you've coded an action in a local notification, this will all start looking familiar. Check out the Learning iOS Notifications course for more details. In the app delegate.swift file, we're going to add a new function called set categories. And we'll put it just under token string. And it will, of course, set the categories and actions. Start by setting a snooze action. UN notification action. We'll use identifier, a snooze.action. Title of snooze, and no options. Make a category, UN notification category. It has an identifier. We'll make this pizza category. The actions, we just have the snooze action right now. We're not using Siri, so intent identifiers is empty, and options is empty. Then we're going to add the category to the current notification center using set notification categories. And there's only one category. Now that we've done that, scroll up a little bit to get back to did finish launching with options. And above the delegate equals self, add set categories. Now we've already set this delegate for one other thing. So we're going to go down all the way to the bottom where we've set the delegate functions. And we'll add the second delegate function, did receive response. Important part of this one, before you do anything else, so you don't forget it, add the completion handler. That should be the last line of code in here. But add it first so that you don't forget it. It's an easy thing to forget. Now, this delegate method treats a push notification exactly like a local notification. So I'm going to set up two constants, action and request, to have the request and action identifier easily available without a lot of typing. So we're going to do let action equal response action identifier. Let request equal response notification request. Then once we do that, now I'll add an if clause to look for a specific action identifier. In this case, snooze.action. Now, our code will convert the remote to a local time interval notification. I'll copy the notification but change the trigger. Make a new trigger with a time interval of 5 seconds and non-repeating. And we'll do that with a UN time interval. Notification trigger. 5.0 for time. False for repeats. Make a new request. UN notification request. And that has an identifier, content, and trigger. The identifier, we'll use pizza.snooze. The content will remain the same from the original request. And we have our new trigger. Now notice I used a literal identifier here. That's so any push notifications using this action will only have one snooze notification. It'll just update the content of the last snooze. Finally, add the request. UN notification center current. Add the request. Our request is snooze request. And we have a completion handler here, which has just got an error. And all we'll do there, if error does not equal nil, or in short, something went wrong, and we'll print, quote, snooze error, and then backslash error localized description. We have our completion handler, so we're good to go. We have our request. Run the application to load all these changes onto your device. Press home on the iPad or your device. Press send in the platform, and you get your pizza. Swipe down, hit the action snooze, and you get a snoozed action. Swipe down, hit snooze, and you now have a local notification doing the snooze action. In this example, I used a snooze button and made it a local notification from a push notification. If you have notifications that will repeat after the initial push notification, this is a very good practice. You have a limited number of push notifications per app per day. Instead of squandering them on repeating the same message, use a local notification for repetitive notifications like snooze buttons.